What if I told you that the key to your health isn't just about calories and chemicals? What if it's really about light, water, and magnetism? Okay, let's dive into a completely new way of looking at the human body, not as some bag of chemicals, but as a rechargeable battery. And this is all based on the groundbreaking work of Dr. Sara Pugh.
You know, every big shift in thinking starts with a question. Or, in this case, some serious doubt. This whole story really begins with Dr. Pugh's disillusionment. She was deep in the world of research on statins and heart disease and saw firsthand how much pressure there was to make data look good for pharmaceuticals. That experience is what pushed her away from conventional research and sent her searching for a deeper truth about how our bodies really work.
And just so we're clear, this isn't some fringe idea coming out of nowhere. Dr. Pugh has a PhD in molecular mechanisms and a background in biophysics. We're talking about serious, peer-reviewed research here, like this paper in the journal PLOS One, studying statins and heart muscle cells. Her questions are coming from a place of deep scientific rigor, which makes her conclusions all the more powerful.
So all that deep scientific questioning led her to a pretty fundamental conclusion. We need a whole new paradigm. Let's really explore this shift in thinking right now. It's a move away from that purely chemical view to one that's grounded in the actual physics of life. Welcome to the body electric.
This right here, this gets to the very heart of the shift. For decades, we've all been taught the chemical view, right? That our body is basically a factory running on calories, molecules, and genes. But the quantum, electrical view sees it totally differently. It sees our body as a rechargeable battery, a battery that runs on charge, on frequencies, and, believe it or not, on light.
So this obviously begs a huge question. If we're a battery, where are we supposed to get our charge from? The automatic assumption is, well, food. It all comes from the food we eat. But is that the whole story? Not even close.
The answer is actually pretty stunning. Get this. It turns out only about 30% of our energy comes from food. The vast majority, a full 70%, comes directly from our environment. Yeah, we're talking about the fundamental forces of nature: light, magnetism, water, and the electrical charge of the Earth itself.
Okay, so if most of our energy is coming from the environment, we really need to understand those signals. Let's start by digging into two of the most powerful forces we interact with every single day: light and magnetism. This illustrates such a critical distinction. Not all light is created equal. Our biology, our very cells, evolved to be in perfect tune with the natural, coherent rhythm of the sun. But our modern world, it just bombards us with the artificial chaos of junk light from screens and LEDs. And our cells, they feel that jarring difference.
Let's break that down a bit. Seeing the sunrise in the morning acts like the master signal for your entire operating system. It literally sets your body clock. It triggers the right hormones, gets your thyroid going, and sets you up for an energetic day. Now contrast that with constant artificial blue light. That puts your body into a state of chronic stress. It jacks up cortisol, it drains your dopamine so you're always looking for a cheap thrill, and it crushes the melatonin you desperately need for good sleep.
Now, the other major energy source is right beneath our feet. I mean, literally. The Earth itself holds a massive negative charge. When we make direct physical contact, walking barefoot on grass, a practice called grounding, we soak up free electrons. This is a fundamental energy input that helps reduce inflammation and recharge our system. It's something our insulated, modern lives have almost completely disconnected us from.
Okay, let's switch gears and talk about the most abundant and maybe the most misunderstood element in our bodies: water. And this isn't just about chugging 8 glasses a day. No, this is about the quality and the structure of the water your body actually creates.
This brings us to the concept of structured water. See, inside our cells, water isn't just floating around. It organizes itself into this cohesive, kind of gel-like state. This living water is what actually holds and distributes electrical charge throughout our body. It's the superhighway for the speed of light communication that keeps our whole system working together.
So how do we make this amazing stuff? For that, we have to look to the microscopic engines in our cells, the mitochondria. They take in electrons from food and from sunlight, and as their tiny internal engines spin, they produce two critical things: the energy molecule ATP and this incredibly important structured water. Our mitochondria aren't just power plants. They're also water purification and structuring plants.
And this is where diet comes roaring back into the picture, but from a completely different perspective, from a physics perspective. It turns out that fat-based fuels, the kind you use on a ketogenic diet, produce twice as much of this precious mitochondrial water compared to carbs.
That means you're literally building a better, more hydrated internal battery just by choosing the right fuel.
So this is all fascinating, right? But what can we actually do about it? Well, the good news is that these huge, profound principles translate into really simple, powerful, and practical daily actions. It's all about plugging back into the right energy sources.
Here's how you can start recharging your biological battery like today. Make it a non-negotiable habit to see the morning sun. Eat your first meal shortly after to sync up your food clock with your light clock. Get your bare feet on the ground whenever you can. And be ruthless about blocking artificial blue light after the sun goes down. And hey, if you're feeling brave, consider using cold plunges or cold showers to give your mitochondria a massive boost.
So let's end with this. The old chemical view of health, it's given us a lot, but it's clearly an incomplete picture. When you start seeing your body as an electrical system, deeply connected to the rhythms of the earth and charged by nature itself, it opens up a whole new world of understanding. So I'll just leave you with this question. If your body is a battery, are you plugging into the right source?